Hey, we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to WandaVision episode 7 discussion live with spoilers. I'm your host again this week, Rachel. I run the Rubber City Reviews page here as a part of the 330 to Go network. I'm the intern there, one of the two. But I have two awesome guests joining me as always. Evan, do you want to go first? Because you're at the top.
Yeah, sure.
Of my screen.
So I'm Evan. I run the page Preview Review on Facebook. I review movies on a weekly basis. I just recently reviewed I Care a Lot on Netflix, but I'm very excited to take it down a notch and talk about the latest episode of WandaVision.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to see that movie, so I should probably check out your review.
Yes.
Nick, if you want to go ahead.
Yeah, so my name's Nick. I run a page called Does It Suck, where I review snacks, keep you updated on, some new upcoming items. Just to give you an example, there's going to be a ton of new chicken sandwiches coming out in the next couple of weeks. McDonald's has one coming out this week. Wendy's just had one come out last week, and it looks like Burger King is going to come out with one in the coming week. So I just kind of review stuff like that, kind of have a fun time on the internet, review some movies here and there. Definitely not as intense as Evan, so I would suggest going to see his page for movie reviews for sure. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about WandaVision as well.
Well, welcome. Very excited to have you both. Before we get started, just to let everybody who's watching us know for the page, next week we're going to be doing a Golden Globes sort of pre-show thing the night before, Saturday at 7. We're going to be talking about the nominations for movies mostly, some TV stuff, our picks, things like that, what we think is going to happen, who's going to win, all that good stuff. We're going to be doing something similar for the Oscars. This is more of a practice run, but of course, we're excited about the Golden Globes, and the Oscars aren't happening for a while, so we need something to tide us over. So yeah, both Evan and Nick are going to be on that, hopefully, as well as Maggie, who was on the top 10 best, top 5 worst 2020 list show. So that'll be fun. The Movie Buds, as I've been calling us, but that was just a stupid name I gave up.
I love it.
Thank you. All right, perfect. So we'll just go ahead and get started. Yeah, cool. So I have my notes pulled up. Cool. This episode's going to be a lot easier to recap, so I'll just do it. I think we're now in modern day television era, kind of like just I got like The Office vibes, but also Arrested Development vibes, definitely like Modern Family vibes, all of like the mockumentary style sitcom shows that we have kind of today. There's no laugh track anymore because that's not the vibe anymore. So we start off, Wanda's woken up. It's literally the next day from the Halloween episode, and she's just like, you know what, I just need a me day because of everything that's been happening. It's been a very chaotic sort of last couple of weeks, I guess, for them. But
did you notice her bedding whenever she woke up?
Sorry?
Did you notice her bedding and like her cover, like her
Yes,
blanket?
I saw the hexagons.
I was gonna say, I was like Rachel's gonna freak out.
Hexagons soon. Yeah, and like a paisley pillow cover, which is just cute. But yeah, the twins are like, our games are going weird. Are you coming down? Because like they need help, and it's just the games like kind of retrograding back into GameCube controller, Atari. Now it's just Uno cards. So that's been, her powers are kind of going skewy again. She goes downstairs, her powers are still going skewy. The milk goes back to like 50s milk, if that makes sense. There's a missing child poster on the carton, but we'll get back to that. Meanwhile, Vision is still on the edge of town where he was when we left him last week, and Darcy is in the circus. She is an escape artist, and she initially doesn't believe him. Obviously, she's under the same spell as everybody else, but he taps her forehead. She's like, oh, cool, come with me. We'll get all the answers. It's very funny. They're all doing little interviews to the side. Hayworth got out. the broadcast is dead. They can't figure out what's going on. It's just like, okay, I guess we're going to keep trying to get in there. And Monica tries going inside. It doesn't work. It was not Reed Richards who they were going to see. Doesn't mean he wasn't the designer, but it was Agent Goodman, I believe her name was. So they do that. The van doesn't make it through, so she goes in and goes through. One really cool sequence happens where it's like all of the culmination of like her cells like recombobulating once again, but now she's got blue eyes. She remembers everything when she gets to the inside, and she's probably Photon from the comics now. She has powers. We haven't really seen what her powers can do yet, but it's safe to assume that she's Photon, because that's who she is in the comics. So meanwhile, the kids are at Agnes's, sorry, but like you've seen the episode probably.
Whoa, spoiler.
Whoa, sorry. Agnes has taken the kids over. Monica's trying to tell Wanda, hey, like, stop. Hayworth was lying to you. He's tried to bring Vision back, but she can't really get a word out. Wanda's just, like, really sad. And she listens to her for, like, 2 seconds, but then Agnes comes by and she's like, okay, we're done. And then it's literally the cat meme where she's, like, yelling at somebody, and Monica's just the cat. We're like, rah. It's so funny. But, when Wanda's Vision now understands most of went on before all of this. He realizes Wanda's been through a lot, so he kind of just wants to talk to her about it and reconcile, I suppose. So he flies off towards his house, and Darcy's just like, okay, whatever, because they're kind of getting put back from like all the stop signs and road work, and then there's just a bunch of children walking across the street. So Wanda goes over to Agnes's house. She's like, where are the kids? And so she's like, oh, she's probably in the basement. They go into the basement. She goes into the basement. She sees all this weird, creepy, warlocky witch stuff in the basement. Agnes was like, reveals herself. She's like, oh, you didn't think you're the only magical gal in town, did you? She reveals herself as Agatha Harkness from the comics, and then an absolute bop of a theme song for Agatha comes on, showing all of the stuff that she's been manipulating for the last couple of episodes, and how everything's gone wrong, so you can't really fix it now. And she reveals that she killed Sparky as well. So that sucks. And that's how the episode ends, but we get our first end credits scene where Monica finds the basement where all of this is going on, and fake Pietro, because they've all decided he's an imposter, comes up and is there as well. So we're going to assume that they're going to team up next. I'm assuming they're going to team up next episode, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, that's basically everything that happened. I don't think I missed much. Pretty straightforward. Not a lot of episode-y stuff. It was very chill, I guess. So, yeah. What do you guys think? We'll start with Nick this time.
Okay. Yeah, so honestly, I think this was more of a filler episode, it felt like. It had some good moments in it, and I really enjoyed it, but it's probably my least favorite episode so far, just because we didn't really advance the story anywhere. We're still kind of left with the same questions, just some, like, we kind of already knew Agnes was Agatha, and the reveal that engineer wasn't anybody of significance was kind of a bummer to me, because they kind of played that up like it could have been someone bigger. I'm kind of leaning towards Monica being Spectrum, which is another form that she is in the comics, other than Photon, because of her eyes. She can kind of see the inside the hex and kind of see like the purpley vines down in Agatha's basement and stuff like that. So I think she has a little bit more of Spectrum's powers, so I think they might be leaning towards that. I was kind of thinking that maybe Pietro might be Mephisto, the way Agatha was like controlling him, but like I don't know. I think he may just be someone in the town or something, and she's controlling him. Like you said, I didn't really figure that they would team up. I figured that Vision would have to come back and release Wanda, but I still feel like Doctor Strange is going to have to come in here, and you got two really powerful wizards right now with Wanda and Agatha. You're going to have to think that either Benedict Wong or Doctor Strange is going to make an appearance and have to have some type of battle with this thing. Very interesting. But I think my favorite scene from the episode was definitely when Monica was going through the hex, and we got kind of like that Captain Marvel type of thing where it flashed back to some of her before, whenever she was a kid, you know, and some of those Captain Marvel, like, speaking to her, you can kind of hear different voices. I really love that, but I'm a sucker for, like, origin stories for superheroes. I think they're so cool. So I really enjoyed seeing that on the screen. But yeah, overall, it wasn't my favorite episode, but I'm also kind of bummed it wasn't an hour long. I was looking forward to more of a longer episode. But interested to see what Evan has to say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm kind of on the same wavelength as Nick, because I do think one of the weaker episodes, again, doesn't really move the plot along, and the big reveal of Agatha is like, that's kind of something that a lot of us have been anticipating at this point if we've been following really closely with all the clues. I will admit that I'm really excited to see if this is going to be like a big showdown. And I'm still crossing my fingers that the big cameo that's been hyped up to death, that we still haven't quite gotten that yet. I don't know if it will be Doctor Strange. I think I would love that if that is the case. I also want to ask, because I got into a disagreement with my wife over this, but is the whole format of this episode feel more like Modern Family or The Office?
Modern Family to me, I think.
Definitely Modern Family.
Because it's like,
yeah, because
The Office, you know who's behind the camera, but then there's shows like Parks and Rec and Modern Family where they have like little interview sections, but like you don't know who's conducting these interviews.
And that's something that I'm really interested in, because I don't think that it's Agatha doing the interviews. So maybe it's still Manifesto. Maybe he's connected, or she. I really hope so. That'd be wonderful, because I really want to see Manifesto in the Marvel Cinematic Universe whenever it does happen. And to also jump forward, I'm assuming that we want to talk about Easter eggs as well. Okay, I hope I don't take Nick's for this one, but in the opening credits, when you see all the different like fonts of Wanda, the one time when it's a license plate number with the number above it, the 122822, that is a very clever and very heartwarming reference to the birthday for Stan Lee, which I thought was wonderful. I loved that. And I can't take credit that I found that out, because I had to look up an article for it and I saw it online, but I just thought that was a wonderful reference regardless. So yeah, let's maybe jump into more Easter eggs.
I'll share my thoughts on the episode real quick first, if that's cool. Yeah, I kind of agree with the general vibe. It wasn't my favorite episode. I can't say it was like my least favorite, because like episode 1, it was still pretty lame to me in the regards of like, it's just hokey. Yeah, it's a 50s sitcom. This one, like, at least the humor for me, I thought it was kind of, funny. Like when she's just like, I think I just need to take a quarantine style staycation. I think that'll really show me. Like, I actually laughed. I was like, that's pretty funny. That'd be something I'd say. But
which is interesting. I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's interesting that they must have filmed that recently then.
Yeah, for sure. I was like, oh, quarantine style. I was like, yeah, it sounds so much fun. But I thought that the little music that played whenever it went to Vision and Darcy, it definitely gave me Arrested Development vibes. And I think it was just because they're in like this big like funnel cake truck. I don't know why it reminded me of the banana stand, but I think it's just like big, ridiculous, like banana, like, it's a big ridiculous food thing, so I thought it was funny. I liked Darcy. It turns out that that poster that has like that weird like thing in it with all the TVs, like that outfit she was wearing in it, that was her being in the show. But yeah, not a lot was revealed. I thought that it was really cool. I thought the best sequence, one of the best, even though it was a lame episode, one of the best sequences in the whole show was the whole Monica getting her power sequence. And also, I loved the Agatha All Along song. It's so great. Everybody on Twitter is just like going crazy over it, and I loved it. And I did like the Office sounding intro. I don't really know what the different titles was referencing. The only thing that I could like really compare it to is like the Mr. Mayor sequence that they do in the intro for that show. I don't know if you've seen it. But with that being said, we can definitely go into some Easter eggs, because the one thing I noticed, because when I was taking notes earlier, I just happened to pause on the frame that said, like, I know what you're doing, Wanda. And I was just like, whoa. But yeah, who wants to go first? I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, I can go first if that's cool. I think there's a theory that it might be someone from the outside trying to reach Wanda,
Mhm.
like saying her name over and over and over again, which is in the credits or in the opening scene, you know, just like Wanda, 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 you trying to get her attention. As far as other Easter eggs, I did hear about the Stanley birthday one, which was awesome. You gotta love throwback to Stan, because he can't actually make a cameo, so I thought that was awesome. And then the bedding with the hexes, I thought was pretty funny. I actually saw that in a trailer a week ago for the episode 7 trailer. But other than that, I can't. There wasn't a lot of Easter eggs that I could see in this episode, other than like diving into the commercial, which I have like 2 theories on. But other than that, I didn't pick out anything.
Evan, did you have any others than the Stanley thing?
I mean, not necessarily one that I've actually seen. What I kind of want to do is, now that we are confirmed that Agatha is behind a lot of this, I want to go back to all the previous episodes to see if like there's any like minute background detail to kind of hint at that, now that we've seen her perspective for all the different goings on. So I don't know if it is an Easter egg in the other episode, but I'd be very curious to see if it does like work coherently. And in terms of the Agatha song in general, and more of a general thought, I wonder how long it's going to take for that to trend on TikTok and for people to use that.
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of actual Easter eggs in this one. It's just kind of a plain, somewhat filler episode that just feels like it's building up to the big finale.
Yeah, for sure. I also didn't notice a whole lot. When she's pouring cereal, they're called sugar snaps, and I didn't know if that was a reference to the snap, like the big snap that happened. There's a missing child poster like on the side of the milk carton that she ends up getting. I don't know who that was, or it was definitely a kid though, but I didn't really get a good look of what the face was. So hopefully it's not Billy or Tommy or some other kid that's like in there. I know what you're doing, Wanda thing, that was some like sort of weird. I didn't know if Darcy being the escape artist was like, it meant something like she's the reason that they're going to get out of the hex or something like that. I don't know if Agent Goodman was a character in Marvel or not, but I don't think there's any bigger ones from what I've known. Everybody's calling Pietro an imposter, so I don't know what's up with that. He might still be the X-Men Pietro, but who knows? There's like, I was just really shocked that Agatha was like, yeah, I'm evil in her song. Like she was just outwardly admitting that she was a bad person, which was just, it's so weird. Like we've never seen a Marvel character that's been like, oh yeah, I'm the bad guy in this situation. Like totally. Usually they think that what they're doing is right, and good and the right thing to do. She's like, no, I'm evil, but you didn't even notice that I was pulling the strings and stuff. But yeah, the only other note that I have is Yo Gabba Gabba is now canon in the MCU, so that's fun. That means Weird Al is in it, and also My Chemical Romance. So, yeah. But we can move on to maybe the commercial. So the commercial for this one is and we get the two people back, the mom and the dad theory. People. It is an antidepressant style commercial for a pill called Nexus, and it's very hinty that it's about realities and getting away from everything, being in your feelings about some stuff. So I've kind of known, like, I researched a little of what Nexus is. But it's basically it's a pathway or a portal to the different multiverse dimensions sort of deal. It's a direct reference to the multiverse. Nick, I felt like you had some thoughts.
Yeah, that's basically the exact line that I was going to go to. There's a thing in the Marvel universe called Nexus, where exactly like what you said, it's a gateway to multiple dimensions, and oftentimes Wanda herself is noted as a Nexus being. So herself has access to these different realities. Obviously, Doctor Strange has, ties to that as well. Wanda is confirmed to be in the Multitude of Madness, or whatever that movie's called. So I feel like this is a prequel to that movie anyway. So they're really setting up all the multiverses. There's another theory which I'm not really buying. In Age of Ultron, Tony goes to this thing called Nexus to try to figure out how to put Jarvis and Ultron together. Like, there's this base called Nexus. I don't know if that's the tie-in. I'm more in tune to the multiverse theory, just because it talks about the dimensions in the commercial itself. I had some other notes in here, but they're really wordy, so it doesn't make any sense to talk about it. But yeah, I agree. I think it's the multiverse, a hint to that.
Evan, do you want to go ahead?
I mean, I could simply just say ditto, because I did do a little bit of research on this one and the whole Nexus being, and that it is connected to the multiverse. So I think Nick kind of spoke for me, because I feel like that's the only real true connection that it could be. It's kind of plain and simple. It's not more like hinting or a visualization of something. It's more like, okay, she could be a Nexus being. So.
And also, with Nexus being a prescription drug, you know how you get prescription drugs? From a doctor.
Oh. Nice. Yeah. All right. So, we got a comment. Yay. Saw the aspect ratio changes when we were inside and outside of the hex. Outside, we were in a widescreen. When we went into Agnes's basement, it was a widescreen outside of the hex ratio. Interesting.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, so it basically means that whenever we're in Agnes's basement or whatever, we're in the real world, and whenever we're in the other aspect ratio, we're in the hex. So yeah, I saw that too. I appreciate you commenting, because I was going to bring that up and I forgot.
Very cool. All right. So before we do our final thoughts, do we have any ideas for what's in store for future episodes? Evan, do you want to go first this time?
Well, if I remember correctly, next week's is the final episode, right? At least of this season.
No, next week's episode 8. It's a 9-season.
Nine
episodes.
Okay, I thought it was 8 for some reason. Well, it definitely feels like it's building up to a big climactic fight. Again, with the whole cameo still up in the air of whether there could be a cameo. I feel like there's quite a few places that the show could go, but I'm pretty certain that there's going to be some sort of climactic fight. Whether who it is, It's kind of hard to say because I'm wondering how Vision is going to feel with the whole situation of how Wanda is handling, and if how in control Wanda is, which could really like deteriorate their relationship. So I'm kind of curious to see how that goes.
All right, Nick.
Yeah, for me, I'm just looking forward to answers to questions. Like, I really want wrap up of why or who that Pietro is. Like, is he truly Pietro, or is he just some guy, that they found on the outside they threw in? Like, I really want to know, is it just Agnes, or is Mephisto there too, or some other creature? Like, I want to have some type of closure. If the series wraps up and we still have questions, I'm going to be really disappointed, because I don't think any of these Marvel shows are going to have season 2s or season 3s. I think they're one-offs that lead into a movie. And it would just be really disappointing. I don't think Marvel would do that. I think we would get some answers, but I'm just hoping that we get them.
For sure. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I don't think that there's going to be like a season 2 of WandaVision. I don't really see. Yeah. Oh, that's a good Stephen. I like that. Stephen could be the lost case that Wu was looking for, potentially. I still want to think that it's X-Men Evan Peters, but like that's just me. Yeah, for sure. Commander Lady, that's what I said. I don't think that she's necessarily the person that designed the thing. I think she just kind of took it there, but who knows? Which is definitely still a possibility that Reed Richards or whoever that person is will end up in the last couple of episodes. Maybe that's the big reveal at the end. But I definitely think that there's going to be a shift because Agatha kind of revealed herself. Monica's definitely going to be doing some stuff now that she's in the Hex, but she knows everything that's going on outside of the Hex. And fake Pietro will definitely probably come back. I don't know what's going to happen to the twins. Hopefully they're good. Hopefully Vision teams up with the trio that's been helping from the outside. But yeah, I don't think that there's going to be any more WandaVision after that, which sucks because this is a really good show. But I don't think that they could redo it again. I don't think that there's any more ways you could. It's so unique in the fact that you do so much stuff with all these different like eras and things like that, but you can't really do it again. Then it wouldn't. It wouldn't. It just wouldn't work. I also wonder if Winter Soldier or Falcon's going to know about this, because it might be like Ant-Man and the Wasp, where all of the Infinity War stuff is happening, but like we don't see or know about any of it. They're just kind of doing their own thing. But who knows? Hopefully there's some references, because I'm really excited about that show too. All right. Do we have any final thoughts? Nick, do you want to go first this time?
No, I'm just excited to see where it wraps up. Going forward, I think I'm more excited for Winter Soldier just because Captain America's my guy, and that's supposed to be like a movie broken up into 6 episodes. So I think it's going to be a little more cinematic, whereas this is a little bit more TV showy. So I'm looking forward to that one more, but I'm loving this ride. I never thought that I would like WandaVision as much as I am. So I'm really looking forward to the next 2 episodes, and excited to, rarely do we get a show where we are on our toes every single week. I know we talked about it before, like with Mandalorian, we kind of knew where it was going. It had the same formula each episode. Certain TV shows, you kind of know the formula, what to expect. With this one, I have no idea where it's going the next minute. So I'm really enjoying that, and I think they really captured a really fun idea here. So excited to see how it wraps up.
Before we go on to Evan, I did not know that the MCU the Netflix shows were MCU properties again. So hopefully they come back up in the multiverse. I would love to see some more Daredevil and Jessica Jones content in the future, especially since we didn't even get any when they were on the Netflix thing. It was just kind of, they were there, I guess. But Defender stuff would be really cool. Evan, do you want to go ahead?
Oh yeah. So I mean, I'm kind of in the same vibe. Like, I feel like the show is lightning in a bottle because we've never seen anything like it in the MCU. It's very cryptic. It's very mysterious. It requires a lot of thoughts and note taking per se. So I think it's probably one of the most unique things that we've had in the MCU, which is kind of both a double-edged sword, because on one hand, it's like, I don't want it to end. I love like scrutinizing every single episode, especially with you guys. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know if they shouldn't, and I don't think they could ever replicate this kind of mystery. So I'm very excited to see what they do with other shows. Maybe get back to a more traditional Marvel feeling, very, very inviting feeling from a Marvel show. I'm very excited, not only for the Winter Soldier one, but also for the What If show, because I think that that could offer up a lot of new possibilities and fan service.
For sure. I'm excited about What If as well. That's probably the one Marvel show. I'm excited for Winter Soldier and Falcon, but definitely What If, because Captain Britain, Peggy Carter, that looks awesome. But yeah, all right. Well, thank you both so much for coming back. We're hopefully going to see you both next week for the pre-season finale, I guess we could call it. But yeah, thank you to everybody who's watched. Thank you mostly to Steven for commenting. If you guys have like any ideas for what we should talk about next week, that will be fantastic. I usually put a post out like, hey, put it under this. That'd be great. Make sure you follow this page so you can watch all of the episodes and be notified whenever we go live. So for the Golden Globe show and for every time we talk about WandaVision. So yeah, it'll be great. All right. So once again, follow these two pages as well. They're good. I promise. All right. So thank you both again. Have a good rest of your Saturday. I will see you next week. All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.